Good morning. All righty. We're going to get back to making these guys. Then I may gotta figure out what to do here. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do here. I may actually glue a part on rather than sculpt something because I'm not great at sculpting. We'll see. Joe, good morning. Hey, Peter, what's up? What a day. What a day. Uh-oh, how did your day go? Whew. Chilly. I really would love to get through this winter. I'm cold. Morning, Joe. Peter, George. Hey, good morning. What's going on, Ken? Excuse me. Ken, I feel I must ask. I feel I must. How's how's things going with your daughter's college college acceptances? And any decisions been made, or is this still too early? I know with a lot of early action, early decisions, that kind of thing. Sometimes people make choices fairly early on. Still no decision on her part. Yeah. Has she heard from all the schools yet? It was a day, Peter, a day that's in the past, and we are the winners. There is truth to that, Joe. We came through the other side. It's like we're food being digested, going through all that gutty what stuff, and then we come out the ass, right? And we came through. A little changed. Still waiting on 2 schools. Got it. Yep. Yeah, my daughter was in the same position last year. And frankly, given where those schools were located, and they were very high demand schools, particularly they were state schools, given that they were where they were, i.e. in the South. In some ways, I was a little elated when She didn't get accepted to UNC. I gotta tell you, sending my child down to a school in the South makes me nervous as fuck. Not the metaphor I would use. No, but it's yeah, probably not. But it's a good one. Shared a video of today's weather here on my Instagram since you asked, George. Well, since I asked. That's nice. I am trying. My daughter did that to me yesterday. My older daughter did too. She's like, "Did you see that Instagram thing I sent you?" It's like, I don't go to Instagram very often. I try not to. I know I've got to go on to take a look for Charles's information, but I don't want to be on Instagram. I really don't. Let's see. Hi, Ken and Joe. Yeah, she applied to FSU. Please not FSU. Yeah. Anything south of the Mason-Dixon line? No effing way. Hey, Kevin. Good morning. How are you? There's more surviving the bullies at recess with them getting in trouble by the end. Yeah. Okay. That's a good one, too. Or go to college, not a football factory. Yeah. Yeah. When I feel kind of the same way. Looking at Ken, I'm not sure how your situation is. For example, like if she went to, I remember when we were looking at Temple as an example, the level of dancer that they have there, extremely high level. But it's also it's more of a production type of a dance performance. And what I'm seeing also at her current school, Quinnipiac, there's definitely a lot of that almost commercial type of dancing going on. And my daughter was never into that necessarily. So that she's actually done as well as she has is kudos to her that she's flexible. But also, yeah, if she went to Temple, it would be all about, the sports and everything like that. I'm happy that we're at a level 2 school when it comes to sports. She's she's in Division 1, and I guess the flagship division is Division 1A. Thankfully, we're not there. And I'm sure FSU, like Temple, they're great schools. I'm sure of it. UNC, they're all great schools. Yeah, no. And not having to be in a place where I think women's rights can be challenged makes me feel good. All right. Or go to college and a football factory. Yeah. Anyway, so we're kind of going back to Joe's point that not using a smart aleck remark like I gave. Yes, Joe, we made it through to the other side, and we are here now. Hopefully, everybody had a good Monday, as good a Monday as they could ask for. Don't seem right. That's why I like Wheaton. Good old crunchy granola school. Yeah. Yep. It's such a shame that some morons with street schools as shooting leaders. I think I am more concerned. I'm concerned about a lot of stuff here, and that's certainly part of it, Peter. It's, my daughter's flying down to Florida this week for a national competition. And as a college student, her being there makes me nervous. Thankfully, they're going to, I believe, not going to be migrating too far away from the Disney resort. But yeah, between violence that's caused on campus because of, again, we can certainly go into the stupidity of some of our laws. But how does it skeletons? There is no good school. In terms of perfection, there is no perfect school, right? It has its skeletons. I hate college. I went to the biggest high school at the time in America, Plymouth Canton High School. So many kids pushed through the football program. Yeah. I wouldn't hate college because of that. Football program, that's a high school. Trade school all the way. I totally agree. I think trade schools are certainly things that we need to have better represented. But at the same time, I think, this to me is kind of like, but here's the interesting thing about trade schools. Heck, we all have a skeleton. That is true, don't we, though? I don't think people should shortchange themselves by going into trade schools, and I don't think they should overinflate their abilities by trying to get into the best colleges out there. My wife, who's been in academia for all of her professional life, has, she always says, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. And I thought about that retroactively to my college career. I was a moron. I should have been better prepared for college, and I probably could have benefited better from a trade school. Having said that, I think it's a long conversation. I think I could have benefited from a more modern university in how they approach individual learning needs, because I don't think I got what I needed from the university I went to. Frat and the Frat is a great song by Dead Milkmen. Nice. Okay. Nick, what's going on, brother? Good morning. Colleges, universities are tools in the same way that a trade school is a tool. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And if it's the right tool for the need, you're going to do fine. I'm better with more council programs. My high school counselor told me to drop out, so I got my GED as a sophomore. No shit. Really, Joe? No kidding. First of all, what great counseling that is. Assessment without any kind of, honest, without a true understanding. I agree. One of the most important roles that is, I think, underdone in any school, I think, is a counselor. But then again, counseling is something that we Americans generally don't like. Right. What's going on, Nick? How are you? For dumb people, the fact is just that not all people are good at book studies. Yeah, my brother grew up dyslexic and went to trade school, found his strengths. Exactly, Peter, without a doubt. Yeah, Years ago, when I was participating in a trade group, the trade group actually brought in a bunch of high school students from different trade schools to look at the different options there are in their fields, like what electrical contractors do and the different levels of electrical contracting, plumbing, heating, HVAC. Even we were there as an AV company to show, hey, this is what's available. And I talked to a counselor or it was a teacher or a counselor. Now I can't remember. I think he might have been a teacher. The number and these are all trade schools. So you're basically trade high schools. They're Voc schools that kind of teach people that once you're done here, you're probably going to go into a trade or going to go into a school to further your studies in that trade. And the teacher said that many, if not most, of the parents, after having their kid go through this Voc Tech, are like, all right, now we're going to have to get you ready for college. And it's like, why are you getting your kid ready for college? Why did they go to a Voc school if you want them to if you want them now to go to college? Interesting. I'm good, just living the life. I knew it. He is now foreign school education later, the chief engineer on a ship, and makes more than doctors. That's awesome, man. Absolutely. Congratulations to him, Peter. Thank you for letting us know that. That is great news. Wow. I found out I'm a kinesthetic learner. So he needs trades just as much, if not more, these days than university grads. I don't disagree. I think it's interesting, though. I think we have to also be cautious not to pigeonhole people into thinking you may not be good enough for college. But at the same time, also say you know what? This is where your strengths lie. Meaning going into a trade school. And don't belittle the trade school, because to your point, yeah, you can end up maximizing your abilities and likes. Okay. It's a really good story, Peter. Not gonna lie. Hey, Damien. Good morning. Yeah. I think there is an inherent and unfortunate belief that if you go to trade schools, you're somehow not smart enough to get into college. And the answer is that's not true at all. Because I think we have, so what qualifies intelligence, right? Getting a successful job out of university and making a lot of money. Is that what success counts? So if you go to, let's say you're like a wicked big brain and you go to MIT and you get into you start an engineering company and you make a lot of money, does that indicate success? What about the guy who goes through a trade school, comes out on the other end, and has no debt in college, buys his first house at 26, debt free, he's coasting through the rest of his life, having fun, going out and doing all the stuff that I keep saying he, and I mean he or she, go out there and just enjoy all that stuff. Isn't that success too? But we seem to have this continued belief that success is making, like, the more bajillions of dollars, the more possessions you have, means that you're successful. And I think that's a truly unfortunate way to look at life. My parents would never have said that they were successful, of which my sister and I say, you are remarkably successful. You made the journey from, from foreign lands to come here, leaving a lot of what you knew behind. You knew and people you knew, and you built your American dream. You know, isn't that success? You brought your kids up. Okay, got to pull back on this one. Yeah. Your kids, you had a home. At one point they were a single income family. Yeah. Isn't that success? That you can do that. I mean, towards the end things got a little rough, but then again, now we're entering the late 90s and early 2000s. But isn't that success? I'm very top 1% IQ, Mensa member, and everything, but that is just genetics. Are you really a Mensa member? I'm sorry to hear that. And does not equal well educated. Any education still only gives back what you put in. Yep, fair enough. I know some people who believe success equals money. They produce the dullest conversations. The measure of successfulness of life, I say, answer to that meaning of everything is just one thing. City Slickers movie. Yeah. I keep coming back to Bernardo Bertolucci's movie, The Last Emperor, of which the last emperor of China was in the 1920s, had everything, and then obviously lost it all during the post World War II and the communist takeover of China. Takeover, however you want to call it. And he became a very content person just doing gardening work. That's what he liked. Just being kind of left to his thing and just kind of doing what he wanted to do. Wait, is there a Mensa member here? So I kind of missed it by 2 points. What's going on, Ray? There is thus at times a social awkwardness. There was and I think from our own experiences, right? Mr. Bean has a 178 IQ. He graduated electrical engineer from Oxford. Really? I did not know that. Is that true? Where did they talk about that? Oh, interesting. I never knew that. There was when I was working in Boston, there was a woman who came to our, and this is when I was working at the Boston University Library System, at the School of Theology Library, and there's a woman who came in, and she often either had like a Mensa pin or a Mensa shirt, kind of letting us know that she was a Mensa member, and just looked down upon people. And just thinking to myself, it's like, okay, great. You're a remarkably smart, probably way smarter person than I am in terms of books. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, he is a smarty. Did not know that. Interesting. Which once again, as I would say, I would say, if given the choice between book smarts and street smarts, I'll take street smarts any day. And generally speaking, I think I've got good street smarts. I've got good book smarts. I think I'm fairly well rounded in that way. The Libra coming through. Again, kind of like having too much money. Does being a Mensa member really do anything? I don't think so. But again, Peter, not to take away from your accomplishments, congratulations. I think that's great. Please, I hope people understand. I'm certainly not trying to vilify Peter for being a wicked smart guy. I never flaunted as I did not earn it. It is just genetics, and so counter to the Danish don't think you're special mentality. Yeah. You Danes are smart people. Fucking chill, Adam. All right, let's see what we got here. That's at. It's a little bit below. Let's bring this thing down a little bit. Angles are not right. I can tell. Damn kilogram. These morning sessions do fucking fly sometimes, don't they? Okay. You are mistaken. High IQ is just compute power, neither book smart nor street smart. It is pure logical. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Take an IQ test and learn how to cut a cake into 8 pieces using 3 straight cuts. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. It's basically, your ability to just process power, or it's like a CPU. Okay. You're like, again, using, I guess, the old Intel things. You're like a Xenon Series 9, commercial grade type of computer. Great. You can process things like that. Great. Okay. Now officially have 8 of these suckers done. Let's work on another one. 2 more. I'd like to get these done before I head up to Maine. Yes, time dilation and model building go hand in hand. Yeah, they do, Joe, don't they? Okay. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Ding. Jackson system. Nice. Anyway, it is Tuesday. Anybody got anything cool going on? Anything fun and exciting? I get to hang out with my boss this morning. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. If we get to move forward, a church job, sizable one too. So we were, I think you guys know, we were offered, let's see, he owns Beatles music, right? Does he really? I didn't know that. That's where I just saw daylight. Why is it dark again, Joe? Dude, how bad is it out your way? Mensa DK and Mensa US are vastly different. We can buy a membership card with the logo on. The US members can buy every kind of Mensa merch imaginable. Great. The word and then Our Lady from the Princess Bride. Liar. Carol Kane, lover. Who doesn't love Carol Kane? She's like, if anybody's been watching Brave New, Strange New Worlds, the Star Trek series, her chief engineer role has been great. She's like a space hippie. So you guys probably might remember that sun is not up, so I'm not either. Yeah, fair enough. I might have mentioned to you guys last week, we were offered, I guess you would almost call it ownership in the company, which was actually a deal that we were, the majority of us were offered a 5% shares in the company that I work at. You know, as the owner starts to phase out, he's turning over profits to us to the tune of each person except one who gets 10. The rest of us got 5. That gives us, that means he's turning over basically 40% of the company's profits, not ownership and not management. Okay. We would have shares in the company. After reviewing the documentation, all of us employees rejected it. We're like, yeah, it's not what we want. You know, and again, I'm not going to go into the exact reasons why, but I will say that, you know, you can you know, try to turn a sow's ear into a silk purse, and it ain't going to happen. And it didn't. All of us rejected it, and that sort of surprised everybody. People were sort of surprised that we, the management team and the broker that's kind of trying to make all this stuff happen, we're all surprised that, why didn't you guys want to move forward with this thing? And again, after all of us reviewed it, some of us with legal counsel and everything. Anyway, so we rejected it, which I guess changed how some of the company might have been purchased. So when people say that employees sometimes, you know, are powerless in what they do, the answer is no. If all the employees are kind of like all going in the right direction, sometimes you can do some good magic stuff. She was great in Scrooge and Taxi. I loved her in Taxi. God, she was great in Taxi. Good in everything, even Scrooged. Change of topic. Done with the guitar picks? No. 1.5 left to go. Good morning. This is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. Uh-oh. First of all, good morning, Dwayne. And how are you? What's going on, man? The strings attached. Oh, there were strings attached. So, again, people think that they don't have power in their employment. Sometimes, look, I'm not trying to, you know, say that employees rule the roost. It has to be a balance between management and employees. But This is the thing that management generally fears is collective bargaining. Better than I thought. The company thing, better than I thought. Oh, yeah, no. We rejected it. It's just when we read through it, it's like, this is not in my best interest at all. This is in the company's best. And I will say this: if somebody gives you a gift, the two things you don't want to do, you don't want to tie it. I'm sorry, if you're going to give a gift, the two things you don't want to do, you don't want to tie it into something that benefits you. Meaning that part of the reason why it was handled the way it was because it created a substantial tax reduction to the owner if he sold the company. So it benefited him more than it benefited us. That's the first thing. And then the second thing was, if you're going to give somebody a gift. So let's say, Peter, it's your birthday. I assume it was tied like a noose at tax time. Oh, there was something about he would get a massive tax break if because of all this, with a substantially reduced tax liability long term. So it's Peter's birthday, and I'd say, Peter, I got a really nice gift for you. I'm going to give you this gift, but before you take this gift, I want you to sign here that if you don't like the gift, you give it back to me. And if you ever want to do anything with this gift that isn't for you, like let's say you want to give it to somebody else, you can't do that. You got to give it back to me. There was language like that in our contract. By the way, it was a contract that we had to sign, even though they're saying it was they call it something else. So. This almost kind of brings this conversation a little full circle to what we were talking about with regards to intelligence. I think there's a view that because we work in the AV industry, there's no college degree required, but all of us have college degrees. Okay. That, you can pull a fast one on us. It's like, not so much. Not so much. Okay. That one needs to be pulled down a bit. That one's good. So anyway, just don't think because people may not have established started a company or be in business and finance, that they don't always know what's in their best interest and can't, do enough research or look into something enough to realize when something that smells like shit is probably shit. One of the reasons I left the bus company, they thought they were clever with their contract. It was so bad I quit after calling them out. Yeah. I do think that it's because I do think that there's this. We were kind of forewarned about this kind of happening, that the company that was looking to broker this, what they do is they incentivize employees. Like, they give them an incentive to stay. Like, you're going to get some increase in pay, whatever, something. And that helps keep people in the transitionary period until they build the company and then do what they need to do. And I generally think that a lot of these people who do this are probably like, oh my God, I'm getting 5%. This is great. And if you look at the language inside, it's like, this is not as good as you think it is, Anybody remembers the movie American Beauty? The tagline for the movie was, look closer. Yeah, look closer. So Ray, good for you. Let me just say it out loud. You give really shitty gifts, George. I know. But that's what was done to us. Dude, I unfortunately, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to show you the contract, but that's what it was. Like one of the pages was, if I leave the company, if I pass away, if I get fired, if anything happens to my employment, the shares that were given to me revert back to the owner of the company. Not I can keep them with retirement. I can gift them to my kids as a little financial nest egg for them. Nope. Anything happens to my employment, they go back to the owner. Joe, take it easy, brother. Have a fabulous day, and may everything go smoothly and peacefully for you. All right. There's some kind of shit going on there. Some kind of shit going on here. I will say, if there's one benefit to all this that's gone down, and it was a good benefit. It brought all of us employees together. I mean, we are stronger now than we were, and not I'm not saying like in a collective bargaining. We all have each other's backs now, which I think is fabulous. I died a little yesterday. I thought it didn't come out right. Okay, what did you die? Hey, Seb. Good morning. How are you, my friend? I just airbrush array. They aren't given to you. Then you are just asked to pay for them until your employment ends. Yes, and remember, we're at-will employees. They could just say, "Yeah, I don't like you anymore. You're gone," or you know what, you're whatever reason, and we're taking those shares back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. So yes, you are correct, Peter. When I use my software paints, they sublimate into the plastic. Too late, I already put it back together. I don't mind the purple and the fade. It's just right. Nice. Trying to dye a clear transmitter. In case navy blue, the navy blue dye turned it purple. Oh, interesting. That's interesting, right? All right. How are we looking? Good cooking? Anyway. There we go. Dwayne, how's things? How was the kids going back? That one came out kind of fucked. What the hell's going on there? How did things go with your kids going back to school? Hopefully all the return to school went well. I think I ground down the edge. That sucks. Yeah, I'm squaring this edge instead. It kind of blows. Posting the AmFam for you to look at. Yeah, I'll be there some year. Thank you. Doing good. Started my little cycle of night shift yesterday. Can't wait for the next one. Oh, I bet you can't. I'm doing all right. You know, I'm here. I've got a couple more minutes left before I got to jump off, and I think I've got another one of these little doodads done, so can't really complain. Just do a little size check. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yeah, no major complaints. You want to come see clear snow for me tomorrow? When the snowstorm hopefully ends. You want us to clear your snow? Well, I'd gladly go out there. If you want to pay my ticket, and house me, feed me, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll come out. I'll shovel some snow for you. Everything is getting adjusted back to normal. Been chugging away on my audio build. Yeah, I got to get back to the doghouse. I need to get it primed. Every night I come home, it's just like I'm just kicking back, and I need to stop. I need to actually take the time to do that. Hopefully, maybe tonight. Okay. She knows. Kids are good. Youngest is staying big feelings. What does that mean? I'm wondering if I'm misreading something. All right, let's see how this looks. This is why you build more. Yeah, I forget to mention they would be under similar contractual conditions. You're 5% saying you get to pay and do the work. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm used to that kind of contract. That's so funny, Peter. All right, let's see if I can get this last one done. I just really want to get this thing kind of done. I'm not spell checking my phone keyboard. Shame on me. Starting to get big feelings. What does big feelings mean? It's starting to get big feelings. What does that mean, if I may ask? Okay. Yeah, some of these are definitely a little differently shaped. What I might end up doing is finding, like, grouping them. Anyway, that's what we have so far. One more to go, and then I'm going to start. I'm not looking at them right now to segment. Okay, do I have 4 and 4? The answer is no. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I'm going to try to get that done shortly. These three, so just dysregulated and mood swings as he starts to figure things. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Dwayne. All right, my friends. Time for me to get rolling here. Get the day started. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to say they were fun conversations, but certainly interesting and informative conversations. And I appreciate everybody both hearing me out and hearing from others back. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. But guys, go out there. First of all, stay safe and stay sane. All right. It is a crazy world. I'm for the life of me, I cannot imagine that we are in this place that we are. It bothers me. It's hurtful because this is not how I grew up, and this is not the world that my parents taught me. This is how it should be. So it's up to us to try to change things because this cannot continue. We have to come back to the place of kindness and respect and love for each other, not this hatred and animosity and taking what we want from others. It's got to come to an end. Guys, go out there, do good, brighten the world as much as you can with the good stuff that you do here every day. All right? Always read the fine print. Always read the fine print. Go out there, do good, guys, and I will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Peace.